She's so contradicting. Earlier she said she doesn't think fatness is a choice, but now she said that we are doing this to ourselves, we are doing this to our children, we are doing this to our society. They know, these obese people know that fatness is a choice. Hey guys, it's Jermaine and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Jermaine. I make videos about the fat acceptance, body positive, fat liberation movement. I share with you my thoughts on these people, why I think it's kind of a cult. And sometimes I also share with you stories of how this movement directly impacted me back when I used to be extremely obese. And now that I've lost a lot of weight and I'm on a health journey, I feel like I can't keep quiet and I need to talk about these topics because it's very close to my heart and I feel like I was directly impacted by this movement, and so we need to talk about them. So if you're into those kind of videos, then you might want to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And if you're returning to my channel, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being a part of my family here on YouTube. I love you guys so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about the things that matter to me, and I really appreciate it even more that you people resonate with me. It means a lot. Sometime back someone commented and asked me why do I hold my lavalier mic and not pin it on my shirt, and it's because I feel like it sounds more crisp and louder like this, like my words are more clear. I know like the puffs of air can be heard and I don't know if that's very annoying. You can let me know if it is, but if I pin it on my shirt, I feel like the sound is very distant. Let me just show you guys. So if I talk to you like this, can you hear the difference? Because I can see the mic and I can see like the pickup. It's so much more softer when I put it here. Or maybe let's try a different part. Okay, can you hear me? Like if I'm talking like this, it's the same level of sound. I'm still talking the same, but I can see like the pickup, it's so much more softer. And I don't want it to be soft. I want you to be able to hear my voice. And then you see the difference when I take it from here and then I put it over here. Do you see the difference? So that's why I hold it. Let me know which one you guys prefer, because I know it is kind of annoying to see someone holding, and I do like to talk using my hands a lot, and I do feel like it's kind of annoying holding a mic like this, but at the same time I just want the sound quality to be perfect. I'm really trying, so let me know, give me your input. What do you think? Should I pin it on my shirt? Do you prefer the sound that way? Anyway, without talking too much, let's get straight into today's video. Today I'm doing a reaction video. I don't think I've ever done a reaction video on my channel. I usually like find a video and then I kind of like watch it and break down my points and decide which direction I want to take when I discuss the video on my channel. But today it's more of like a proper reaction. I don't think I've ever done a reaction on my channel. I can't remember, but I saw this video on Jubilee and I love watching like all these Jubilee middle ground videos, and I thought this was so perfect for me to react on my channel because the title is Being Fat a Choice. And you guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, I've always talked about how I believe fatness is a choice. I believe that medication or your hormones can make you overweight, can help make you put on weight, but to a certain extent. I feel like for you to get to like an extremely obese situation, it is self-inflicted. So I like the idea that there is a discussion. I'm guessing from the picture, it looks like obese people and skinny people are going to discuss this, whether it's being fat a choice. So let's see if they agree or if I agree with them.
I'm sorry, there's a very big difference between the people who are telling people go out and get fat versus a Lizzo who's saying accept me the way I am.
She's not just saying accept me the way I am. She's dressing extremely scantily clad and then saying if you don't think that it's normal for a morbidly obese person to be wearing a G-string in the middle of public, then you're the problem.
Being fat or skinny is a choice. Agreeers?
Of course, not every factor is purely choice. I don't think that every factor is, but I do think a majority of it is. And in most cases, for most people, being skinny or being fat is about willpower. It's about the environment you grow up in, sure, but who you choose to associate with, what sort of things you choose to listen to, who you choose to kind of have as your friends around you and support you. All of those things are choices that you can make that will lead you closer towards being one or the other.
I
know
this
what
guy
I do
already.
with my body. I know what I put into it, day in and day out. I choose not to eat some days. I choose, you know, how I want to look. And I don't fault anyone for how they want to look or how they want to be, but I think it's a choice at the end of the day. I'm very, you know, always wish-washy on how I want to be presented and if I want to gain weight or not. But the only person that's going to gain the weight at the end of the day is me and me myself.
For me, it's calories in, calories out. Go to the gym, you'll get buff. Don't go to the gym, you won't get buff. I understand that there's genetics that could cause you to want to eat more, but even with the genetics that cause you to want to eat more, the same solution is calories in, calories out.
I think
that's what I always say on my channel as well. I believe that genetics and medication or hormones or whatever may play a part, but at the end of the day, if you just need to work extra harder than the next person, you just gotta do what you gotta do. Also, I like that the skinny guy, like, he talked about his own personal journey of like not eating, and that's why he's skinny, which is also not a good thing. But I like that, you know, at the end of the day, it's still a choice. Like, he said that it's a choice that he chooses not to eat so much while someone else does. And I also just want to say, I really like this big guy. Like, I just love his mindset the minute he came in here, and like, I thought he was going to, I was actually surprised that he even like came out for Is Fatness a Choice? Because I thought most fat people, okay, never mind, let's just watch.
Disagreeers?
I want to see this.
I feel like as a toddler, I always viewed myself as big. I grew up in a very like poor home, so where my mom couldn't provide the meals that she could healthily. So when we would get like free meals, even then, it would be like canned food, and it would be like very much food that's not as edible. It was food for us, yes, but then I felt like once it reached a point where I was old enough to try to make my own choices, I made all of the wrong choices. I wasn't eating, and I was only eating like grapes and lettuce, and that was mainly because I was in a sport, and that sport just worked me out so hard. And it was to the point where I just was scared to eat. I didn't like it. I would only drink water.
When you were eating grapes and lettuce, were you thin?
I was the thinnest I could be.
Were you still big though?
I was still big, but that was the skinniest I've ever been. And that's coming from somebody who was only eating somewhat salads that are just fruit and lettuce and water and maybe ice right before a practice.
Do you think that right now you would not be capable of becoming a thin woman if you wanted to?
I possibly would be capable of becoming a thin woman, but since I was young, I was supposed to get blood tested probably when I was very, very young, and I never did. And they had mentioned that it could have been because of my weight and how that connects with my thyroid. I never made the connection, and I never had like that leaning parent to be like, go and get checked out, go and do this, like, your weight is probably not your fault. It was always like, your weight is your fault, so that's your issue.
I mean, I also...
Wait, okay, I'm a little confused with what she's saying, because she said that it could be because of her thyroid, but then she also said that she used to eat like grapes and salad every single day and ice cubes, and although she was as thin as she could be, she was still big. So I don't understand, because my understanding is if you're eating grapes and salad every single day and ice cubes, no matter what your condition is, you would end up becoming skinny, because that is like extreme under calorie. And she's working out. She was like, didn't she say she used to play sports? So she was like working out like crazy. I don't know, like, that's, somebody tell me, because I really don't know. If you have a thyroid issue, I mean, I did have like a slight hormone imbalance because my thyroid was like inflamed or something, and so that made me to have to like work a little harder. But I'm guessing if I was to eat like just salad and grapes every single day and work out and be working out non-stop, I think I would be like extremely skinny. Because even with the fact that I was eating normal amounts of food, like within a calorie deficit and working out, I used to work out twice a day, I did lose weight, but I never got to like extremely skinny or anything like that. So I'm guessing if I was eating like even more under calories, I would have been skinny. I don't know. Somebody tell me.
The struggle with, you know, thyroid and my own blood issues. I'm not quite sure, but I do see an endocrinologist and I go see a doctor. It's a choice to do the requisite steps. It's a choice to go grocery shopping instead of going to fast food when it's easy. It's a choice when you're grocery shopping to go to the outer aisles and like not go into the bread section and not go into the junk food section. These are all choices.
As a disabled woman, I can't do a lot of the things that people say, calories in, calories out, oh, you gotta go work out and exert it. A lot of the things that are typical, oh, this is how you lose weight, put me in the hospital. I have to navigate weight differently. I have to look at it differently. My weight
wait. She's saying too many things. She said that the things that told you how to lose weight was what put her in a hospital. Did she say that? I just need to know, did she have like an eating disorder that put her in a hospital, or was she working out until she became disabled? Okay, I need to revive.
To the bread section and not go into the junk food section.
Also, wait, can I just say, I just think it's so funny how this lady is like, when you go to the grocery store, it's a choice to choose not to go to the bread section or the junk food section. It's a choice. That lady is like, then the next lady straight away is like, as a disabled person, I feel like that's just the way they cut it. Because there's definitely more conversations going on in between, but it's just so funny to be like, I thought she was just going to be like, as a disabled person, it's so hard for me to go to the grocery store. The way they cut it sounded like that's what she was going to say. Just listen.
Section. These are all choices.
As a disabled woman, I can't do a lot of the things that people say, calories in, calories out, oh, you got to go work out and exert it. A lot of the things that are typical, oh, this is how you lose weight, put me in the hospital. I have to navigate weight differently. I have to look at it differently. My weight is the way it is because of medication, because doctors put me in this position. And I had to learn, okay, am I going to be so hateful of my own body that I am going to backlash and put myself through extreme gym nights, through keeping myself from eating things that I should be able to eat. You should be able to have a balance. You should be able to go into the junk food aisle like other skinny people do and still not have to worry about gaining 20 pounds.
But I don't think skinny people go into this junk food aisle.
They
I think
certainly do.
They do.
They eat a lot of junk food.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Red dress is trying to make everybody is thinking that everybody is the same as her exactly. I don't know if she really believes that or she's just trying to like does she realize there's also other skinny people here who probably lives an unhealthy lifestyle? You cannot generalize it like that because I know skinny people eat junk food just as much. The only reason they're not fat is because they portion control. Okay, red dress is not helping right now.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, my DoorDash would tell you otherwise. Like,
There's a thing called set points. There's a ton of research on it that your body likes to be at specific weights. It likes to be in a specific way. So if you are fighting yourself to lose weight by not eating, over exercising, and you are damn near killing yourself to be at a specific weight, your body's unhappy.
Yo, the lengths you would go to make up a bunch of nonsense, or the lengths you would go to probably research some nonsense science. Your body. Okay, wait. I know there are people who are more big built than the others. Like for example, me and my sister, because of our genetics, we are like half African. My dad's side, everyone's like really big size. But big size doesn't mean fat. Big size just mean like big shoulder, broad. So when I was younger, I used to be kind of underweight actually. But when you put me next to my cousin's sister, who was the same age as me, I looked bigger than her. But it wasn't because I was fat. My shoulders were broad and my bones were big. So I'm thicker in that sense. Like I just have like broader shoulders, thicker bones and things like that. No matter how much you try to work out or lose weight, you're still going to appear like a little bit bigger. But obese, your body is happy to look like that? Are you kidding me? What kind of nonsense science is shit? Oh, I just get very triggered when they talk. I just get triggered by nonsense talk.
That a choice can be harder for people to make due to conditions in their life.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's still a choice. I could say that I had food addiction. I looked to food when I was stressed and this and that and this. And so it's harder for me to choose it than for someone who has like the perfect lifestyle, someone who has parents who are giving them this and that and this. But I definitely still acknowledge that it was my choice. At the end of the day, when I go there and I look and I see, should I order a second hamburger? I'm the one choosing whether or not I order that second hamburger. I'm the one making it.
I love this guy. I really like this guy. I really like that this guy is part of the panel of the fat on the fat side. I love it.
I would rather be skinny than fat. Can the agreeers please step forward?
Are you serious? These women are all happy being... Guys, just look at this. Look at all this visceral fat. Are you seriously telling me that somebody is proud? You would rather be like this? You would rather be like this than be skinny? Like if you're skinny, you can still try to gain weight. But if you're like that, you have to lose weight. Are you seriously what quality? Never mind.
I think there's a lot of different struggles when it comes to being a bit bigger. And I have a sister that is she's 400 pounds and she struggles a lot. She has lymphedema and to shower is really, really hard. So I do think for like an overall happy life and like zero struggle, I think I'd rather be skinny.
I think that it is common in society to want to be skinny. I think the average person typically wants to be skinny. I'm actually surprised that I didn't see more people come forward on that question. People treat you better. It is what is considered the standard of beauty. Your life expectancy is longer. You tend to be healthier.
I'm also really tall. I'm 6'6", so I kind of wish I could just pick a single struggle, because finding clothes and things like that when you're bigger both ways can make it really hard. So if I was skinnier, at least that's one less thing I have to worry about. But also, I've got 2 kids and a wife, and I'm taking care of them. And as you pointed out, I definitely think that I'm at less health risks if I'm a skinnier person, if I'm a healthier person in that capacity. And I would much rather be that so that I could be around for my kids longer.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
I'm so interested to see why the fat ones disagree. You seriously telling me your life is wonderful like that?
I actually was a former smaller person, and I had the most body insecurities when I was small. I was constantly living in fear of gaining weight and having people tell me, oh, don't gain weight, don't do this, make sure that your weight is the same. And once I finally gained weight, I realized that first off, life wasn't over. I didn't feel any need to not engage in life the previous way that I had, and the attention that I got was different. But even as a smaller person, you get negative attention. And rather than trying to control my body to avoid that negative attention, I would prefer to address the situation as a society, make it more accessible for everybody to where we aren't feeling like I have to be a certain way that's normal in order to be treated like a human being and respected.
If I could counter, because I was a bit bigger when I was younger, and that's when I was the most insecure. I would look in the mirror. I did have family members that were skinny, but then I had a family member that was much bigger, and just the way that I perceived myself, I hated it, and I even became anorexic.
If your biggest priority is to be in a smaller body, you need to reassess your priorities.
Yeah, not focused on health.
Yeah.
And the immediate tie between skinniness and health, like you emphasized, there is such a gap between, one, the research, because the research has a huge fat phobic bias in it, and there has been research that shows that they aren't, even especially during, let's say, COVID and the correlation between obesity. They rushed through those studies so fast because in society's mind, oh, of course a fat person is going to equal someone who's going to get sick faster, is going to get sick easier. It was an easy jump. So they didn't do all of the testing that they were supposed to do. They didn't check their bias.
So if by saying the study is biased, you're saying that the study didn't account for the variable that obesity may also take a factor into. It's just that there's so many variables in humanity that these pharmaceutical companies could only account for so many during their trials, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're biased. However, if you want to talk about bias in studies, actually recently we've been doing the opposite. So for instance, a lot of our studies have been based on BMI, and so we've been showing that, oh, fat people aren't necessarily extremely unhealthy if we look at people with a certain BMI. However, bodybuilders also have a really high BMI, and so they get counted into that category. And so it wasn't until very recently that they equated for that mistake, and it shows, oh my goodness, being fat is actually extremely unhealthy, like way more unhealthy than we ever realized.
You can't gauge health by looking at somebody.
Yeah.
Like, none of my health issues, all of them precipitated my weight gain.
But you see, the thing with these people is they discredit the fact that when they think health, they're straight away thinking like diabetes or like something super intense like that. Which, yes, maybe you don't have it now. But for you to be that big, you are living a certain type of lifestyle. A lifestyle that is double times, I'm guessing, worse than a skinny person. Which is why I feel like it's more likely for an obese person to, for example, we all know a McDonald's cheeseburger is bad. We shouldn't be eating that every day. But a skinny person would eat one McDonald's cheeseburger, or maybe half a McDonald's cheeseburger. They're still eating unhealthy. But then the fat person, like the guy just now said, it's my choice to choose not to eat that second burger. So that means you are eating, most fat people are eating 2 times more. So obviously you are putting more bad stuff into your system than a skinny person is putting. So you have more chances of being sick. You have more chances of, if you eat a lot like if you eat a lot of processed food, isn't it going to affect your health? Isn't it going, there is a lot of chemicals, there's a lot of bad stuff in it. Isn't it going to affect your health? So for you to say that, oh, you cannot look at a fat person and just assume my health and based on just that. But looking at you, I know for a fact you're not eating salads every day or chicken and broccoli every day. You're definitely eating a lot of unhealthy food. And because look at where the fats are going. It's going to your stomach. It's going to your arms, your thighs. It definitely tells people that you're unhealthy. So when you say that, oh, you cannot determine health, I can determine health looking at you. I can tell you're unhealthy because the amount of weight, look at the girl in red, like the amount of weight that you're carrying on your stomach. Like, you're telling me that's not pressing on your pelvic floor? That is health. You're telling me that your back doesn't hurt? You're telling me that your bones, and if you're going to get bigger and bigger, more bigger than this, are you seriously telling me that it's not going to start affecting your bones, your back, your body? You can equate health to looking at somebody's size. You can. I just really like the big guy because he's keeping it real. He's the only one here who's talking facts. The others are just talking nonsense.
America has an obesity problem.
Next year.
Oh, absolutely, you can. I think it's pretty clear. You look at the weight of the average American, you see how obesity has affected not just children. I mean, the fact that we have more younger and younger people who are looking heavier and heavier, and you see that, like, you know, the way that weight affects us as a society, and you compare that to how we were in the past. Now, not that we should always, you know, we shouldn't compare ourselves to the era of the Great Depression when people just couldn't find food, of course, but people are heavier now in an unhealthy way, and people are eating unhealthy. They are eating it through unhealthy access to food.
There's so much access to just anything. Yeah. Like, it's so crazy these days. And, you know, I'm so surprised that we're actually supporting a lot of this, you know, and there's always people like, you know, like, it's fine that we have like 3 McDonald's like on the same street. And it's just like, we don't think that this is adding to the problem.
What I think is really sad about that is so many people in America just see the profit in it. I don't want to say I know that these people know the problem, but it's like, how can you not see the problem? They have to see it and just not care. They have to just be like, well, we're gaining profit. Do you see how much this McDonald's is making? Put another one across the street. Like, that's just like how it is.
It's the corporations, it's the medical industry. Having a fat country makes us money.
It doesn't help that our cities aren't walkable either. America is a country of non-walkable.
That is why I wavered a little bit, because I think we have a problem with how to treat obesity. I think we have a problem with how to make it so that it is not.
This lady is kind of confusing me a little bit because I thought she does not think obesity is a problem, but then now from everything she's saying, it sounds like she does think obesity is a problem. This kind of tells me that deep down, all these fat people know for a fact that obesity is a problem. It's not a good thing, it's a bad thing, and they know for a fact, even like when they're all talking about the McDonald's being at every block or whatever, and like how that's contributing to obesity, this woman were not disagreeing. They could have said, no, actually that's not true, because not all obese people eat McDonald's. A lot of us like eat really healthy. They could have said that, but they didn't, because they agree with the fact that all this fast food is what's making people fat. So if all this fast food, all this bad foods is making people fat, that means you are not healthy. Am I crazy? Literally, they agree that they are not healthy. They believe that obesity is a problem unless they don't believe they're obese. Do they not think that they are obese?
We are in a society and in an environment that breeds this. And we are doing it to ourselves, we are doing it to our children, and our corporations and our industries are doing it to us, and they aren't.
She's so contradicting. Earlier she said she doesn't think fatness is a choice, but now she said that we are doing this to ourselves, we are doing this to our children, we are doing this to our society. They know, these obese people know that fatness is a choice. They would just fight with you because they don't want you to say it. They don't want you to point it out.
Having to take responsibility.
And they're encouraging it with media. So
and the mukbangs, I was literally going to bring that up, the mukbangs and like all those videos that just come up to trends for people.
Not only the mukbangs, but also like Lizzo and other big like media.
I'm sorry. There's a very big difference between the people who are telling people go out and get fat versus a Lizzo who's saying accept me the way I am.
She's not just saying accept me the way I am. She's dressing extremely scantily clad and then saying if you don't think that it's normal for a morbidly obese person to be wearing a G-string in the middle of public, then you're the problem.
Red dress is like, I get where she's coming from. I feel like I just wish she would talk about more important stuff. Lizzo's dressing is least of our concern. I think Lizzo's promoting eating. Lizzo promotes eating like large amounts of food. Didn't she do that advertisement as well?
Oh, okay. How about cherry ice cream with sprinkles?
I don't know why red dress is like. Okay, red dress clearly is very obvious. Red dress just does not like fat people. Like, she cannot stand it, which is okay. But I feel like in a debate like this, you want to point out things that, because she's coming from a place of health. So then I feel like you would want to make use of that part more than Lizzo wearing a G-string. Like, yes, Lizzo wearing a G-string, nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. But I feel like Lizzo promoting eating a lot of food is way more an interesting discussion to bring here, because I want to see how these fat girls react to that. Lizzo promoting eating large quantities of food. I want to see how this woman react to that, because they always say that they don't eat a lot and stuff like that. But instead, she's talking about Lizzo's G-string.
And they're trying to normalize society to this obese culture, which is extremely unhealthy. And
what is an obese culture?
A culture which like normalizes
like, I'm obese
obesity.
and I haven't even heard that.
Well, obesity is already normal, so
it's. Well, I don't think it should be normalized, and it wasn't normal.
But
just a couple
what's the
decades
difference
ago.
between a obese person, myself, walking around in a G-string or a bathing suit, as I do almost every day?
I knew they were going to go this way. Red dress has dug herself into a hole.
I don't think so, but
I don't think
that's where all the reasons come.
I get the whole in public thing.
Which is say that when Lizzo does it is the same as a Victoria's Secret angel. It's just not the same.
Yeah, what's the difference?
What do you mean? Are you telling me they look? You're telling me it doesn't.
I'm not saying they look the same.
Well,
but
I
I'm
mean,
saying
Lizzo goes on
What's
stage.
the implication? So if I walk down the street, I'm a runway model. I'm a print and runway model. I have walked down a runway in a thong. So me doing that is shameful, but a skinny model is
Like
okay.
I don't know if I use the phrase shameful,
Problematic.
but I don't think that we as a society should be.
I really wish Red Dress would stop talking. I get her point. I know exactly what she's saying, and I actually do agree with her. But I feel like she's phrasing it wrongly. She's using all the wrong words, and she's, oh my gosh, and there's no one there to help her.
Modeling obesity.
But I'm not modeling obesity. I'm modeling the lingerie that obese people need to be able to have availability to buy.
Yeah. So they've always had the ability to buy
we have not.
lingerie.
If you go to Torrid,
No,
a single
we have
underwear is
not.
like almost $20.
Yeah.
And you go to like any other Walmart, any Target, and like all these underwears are on special for like $5 to like $20 and stuff.
Well, it
and
does
it's
take
like,
more fabric to make it.
It does take more fabric to
They
make
use
it,
that
but
as
it's,
I love this
big
guy.
yards of fabric for gowns. You like
Is a
it's-
small a
and
different price than an extra large or large?
It is.
And
yeah,
we're willing-
for 3XL shirts, I got to pay more money.
I think people view models and Instagram people and all of us who are plus size and proud as we're pushing this obese lifestyle.
Yes.
No, I'm pushing the fact that this is what I live in. This is my life, and I need other people who feel this way to say, hey, I want to be able to wear clothes that look cute too.
I have no problem. So here's the thing, right? I completely agree with the fact that if you are an obese model and you're modeling obese clothes, and it's more so for your other obese people to feel like they have like clothes or whatever, do what you want to do. I really don't care. But at the same time, I don't agree with you. I don't agree this is necessary, because we shouldn't be proudly showing off this kind of body. We don't want to be like this. We don't want to look like this. This is not the goal. This is not the ideal goal. Just like how I don't want to see an anorexic person promoting how to eat 1 grape a day and how to look like her. I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see someone showing you just bones. The same way I don't want to see somebody who's like having visceral fat just hanging off their body, walking around in a thong. I don't want to see that.
I do think there's a problem with obesity in America, but I think it's a first world country problem because it's spread across the globe. And also, I don't see it as a problem. I do feel like health-wise, people should try to be healthier, but there's no perfect body. There's no perfect person. There's no perfect size. And there's people who are underweight. There's a lot of them. And then there's a lot of people who are overweight. So I really don't see it as like a problem.
Agreed. But I think it's a problem when it's over the top. So I feel like it's totally fine if somebody has a little bit of, like stomach, or, a little bit of like a huge arm or whatever. Like, I mean, even I'm not like at an ideal perfect weight even right now, but I know for a fact that I can do more stuff. I know for a fact that I'm healthier. I know that I don't have to worry if I can fit into a chair, or if I can take a flight. I don't have problem walking. So I feel like if you're a little bit overweight but you are able to live your life like a normal person, I think it's not that big of a problem. You can choose to get healthy, you can choose to be smaller if you want to. But if you are getting bigger, or if like this overweight woman sitting here, this does not look healthy. I'm sorry, but this does not look like you can go out there and take over the world and do whatever you want freely and comfortably. Literally, tell me, if one of these women, the house was on fire and somebody needed to carry them out, you telling me this is going to be very easy to carry them out? Or if they faint, telling me this is very easy for some. Like, if you're going to be overweight, at least be realistically overweight, not this kind of overweight. This is not okay. I agree that you don't have to be extremely skinny, but I also think that there's a limit.
Okay, so somebody brought up the food desert earlier. I can't even think of an area that would have a so-called food desert.
Sorry, can someone explain, like maybe just for my ignorance, I'm guessing a food desert is just there's no food anywhere?
No, it's healthy options for food. So you can go into certain low-income areas and you'll see a Starbucks, a McDonald's, a Chick-fil-A, but there's no Trader Joe's.
But if I'm making minimum wage, I'm not going to spend all of my money on what is going to last me 2 meals versus what's going to last me an entire week.
Yes.
Or if I'm on EBT and I have specific things that I have to choose to buy versus what I can't buy.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised in Colorado. In the outskirts, there's so many small towns that you don't even know that they're there. Most of them you won't see on a map, but if you're from there, then you'll know, and they all have to drive a decent amount to be able to go to an actual grocery store. How often are you going grocery shopping? Maybe like once every 2 weeks would be typically normal, so you have to do a drive once every
once a week.
So you're making a drive once a week, once every 2 weeks.
This is not a lot of people have
drive access to the
like what if I don't have a car?
I was like, I don't
even
and if you don't have, usually these food deserts also have very poor public transportation options.
Yeah.
So
Like in
you
the
are
mountains.
left with people who are stranded.
Yeah, but then what are they eating at all?
Yeah,
Unhealthy crap.
Like,
no, but how are they surviving at all?
Drive through. They don't got a car to go.
Yeah, exactly.
They usually, what I've seen when I go to those rural towns and those rural places, is they have chickens and they have animals.
Right.
And guess what? You can get some healthy food out of that. That's
That
like
sounds healthy.
having eggs and protein and things like that. I think I would be healthier if I lived rurally. In fact, my wife and I are trying to leave the state so we're not near all the Uber Eats and all the
I grew up in a town of 500. The obesity problem there was not as significant as, say, in LA. And we talk about like food deserts and stuff. The nearest Walmart where I grew up was 45 minutes in any direction. The nearest McDonald's was nowhere near to be seen for a long time. So when I hear these, like, and there could be some evidence there as like the obesity problem is very low lift.
Were there grocery stores in your small town?
Yes,
Exactly.
Like I'm like kind of baffled by the fact
Thank you.
Maybe I just need to go out there and like experience the food deserts. But like, there was grocery stores where
This really just go to show you that they will say anything to justify their fatness. There is no shops. It's a food desert. There is no shops anywhere, and like only McDonald's. I don't know if you guys watched my video about like poverty made us fat or something like that. I made a video some time back, and this is exactly like the thing that I was discussing in that video. I feel like it's so funny how like obese people's argument is always, oh, because like we don't have enough money, and then like we're in a place where there's like no options for food, and the lady was saying there's no transportation to go and get groceries. Then the guy was like, but then y'all can go to a drive-thru. How do you go to a drive-thru without a car? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, they would say anything, and like, especially in a setting like this, because they cannot like premeditate what they're gonna say, so they just like this openly discussing everything, and like it's showing. Your nonsense are showing. You all just want to eat unhealthy food. You're lazy to cook. You're lazy to make better choices. But then you blame everything on society. You blame everything on, oh, because they put McDonald's here and they don't have enough like grocery store. And then like you hear these people talk and they just demolish your nonsense. And how you want to even fight back? Because you know they are right. They're not even arguing. I love it. Like they are stumped. They got no argument. Like she can't even say like, oh, in my experience, what happened to me? Because okay, so that's it for this reaction, guys. I hope you guys liked this reaction today. Let me know if you guys would like me to do more reaction type videos. I've never really like thought of doing reaction type videos because I don't want to be a reaction channel. I kind of like talking a lot about things that's on my mind rather than just reacting to things, but I actually do like throwing in some of this kind of reaction once in a while. So let me know if you guys like this type of videos, then maybe I would do a little bit more of this kind of videos as well here and there. But anyway, but I think like ultimately we can all agree that they agree that fatness is a choice. Because even like those who earlier didn't come out and say that fatness is a choice kind of implied when they were answering the other questions that fatness is a choice. I really like the big guy. I like that he had a revelation, and I see, this is what I say, like I feel like regular fat people, non-fat activist fat people, they will always come to a place where their eyes will be open and they will change their life at some point. So I feel like don't give up on them. It is a fat activist ones that is the real problem. So anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. Comment down below or what your thoughts are, and also let me know if you want me to do more reactions. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. I post a lot about what I do throughout the week on there, whether it's workouts, foods, or even just like other general stuff in my life. If you're interested, you can follow me on there. The links are in the description box below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.